First game this month is Silicon Rising. This is basically Time Crisis in VR, and if you don't know what Time Crisis is, it is an old arcade game about shooting a lot of dudes really fast. This game is set in a cyberpunk world, which I really enjoy because I do love cyberpunk, and it gives you various weapons to play with to dispatch of as many people as possible in a very short amount of time, which does work very well in virtual reality. It gives you a story mode to play through, and it also seems to switch things up sometimes with some driving sequences in there as well, where you actually have control of a car and shoot dudes from the car, which does look pretty dope, to be honest. This game is releasing on PC VR and it is releasing somewhere in February of 2020. Next up is PhyxBox, which is a bit of a weird name, but this is a VR sandbox game that looks a lot like Gmod. Now, I personally love Gmod, and this is basically a sort of VR adaptation of it. It's completely based on physics, and you can build all sorts of crazy contraptions from physics objects such as cars and guns and spaceships, or just mess around with your friends and destroy shit. It is just like Gmod, completely fueled by workshop and user-created content, which makes this very interesting. It is only for PC VR and it is out right now, and it is also completely free, which makes this a very interesting thing to check out if you're into this sort of game. And at number 3 we have Mental. This is a crazy over-the-top arena battle game where you fight against stick figures. This game gives you completely free movement control and a lot of parkour stuff, so you can do some really smooth running, jumping, and flipping over stuff without any teleporting and just doing your own thing. Kind of like the Sirento games, which work very well there. The game also has slow motion and features various weapons, from guns to melee, to dispatch of your enemies with. The game also seems to have a very cool gore system where you can literally slice your enemies up or blow them into pieces, which is a lot of fun to do in VR and especially in slow motion. So yeah, this game features some awesome looking arena fighting action and it could be very interesting. It is only coming out on PC VR and it is launching on the 20th of February 2020. And next we're taking a look at Straylight. This is a VR parkour game, which I absolutely love because I don't think we see enough of those. And it basically makes Spider-Man style swinging with space and also some climbing, which I think could be a very cool combination. The game will take you to various worlds of increasing difficulty, and then the action actually looks really smooth and pretty satisfying. The soundtrack also seems pretty peaceful, so this could be a lot of fun when it works well, and also could be a cool, relaxing experience. The game is only coming out on PC VR and is launching on the 3rd of February 2020. And at number 5, we are already halfway through this month, we have AUDICA. Now, I know AUDICA is not a new game, but it is finally coming to Quest, which is great news, because this is a really good rhythm game. It is made by the same people that made Rock Band and Dance Central, and I am a big fan of rhythm games, and yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun to do. It is a shooting action rhythm game, so you just have guns and you have to blast things to their beat, and it has some really cool spacey looking graphics and a great soundtrack, which by now also has a lot of extras added, free and paid, so there's plenty of things to do. Also, I think rhythm games work extremely well on the Oculus Quest because the feeling of freedom on that thing and being able to take it anywhere makes it a really fun thing to do. AUDICA on the Oculus Quest is out right now. And at number 6 we have Warden of the Isles. This is a VR real-time strategy game, which I think is an interesting concept and has been proven to work very well on VR. But what I like about this one is that it also lets you interfere into the battle as a sort of ginormous god and literally pick up enemies and cast spells and also throw away the enemies you picked up and smash them against the rocks like an absolute barbarian, which I think is a very fun thing to do. And it's basically been described as an RTS mixed with a mage simulator, which is also a game type I've never heard of, but apparently it exists. It features a pretty cute art style and it lets you basically fight out various battles on a group of isles, as the name suggests. So yeah, and I also really love something about the miniature-ish style VR gives this type of games, because you're usually looking down on a sort of tabletop where the action is unfolding in front of you. Warden of the Isles is only on PC VR and it's coming out the 14th of February 2020. And next up we have something very interesting for the PlayStation VR players. Shadow Legend VR has come to the PlayStation Store. This is basically a full of VR RPG game with plenty of big areas to explore and some really nice graphics and really nice world building. It also features some really cool melee combat where you can use various weapons such as swords, axes, but also bows and crossbows. The game features a complete storyline including boss battles and all sorts of interesting characters to meet, so there's plenty to do here. It's great to see some more big games like this coming to PlayStation VR, as it still is a very interesting platform. I'm also still very curious where PlayStation 5 will take it. The game is out right now on the PlayStation Store. And at number 8 we are taking a look at Malicious Payload, which is a retro-inspired shooter game. It has really cool 80s-like voxel graphics, which I am a very big fan of, and the action seems to be some kind of Doom-like chaotic corridor fights with a ton of things happening on screen and a ton of enemies to shoot at. The game also has various weapons such as pistols, rifles and space katanas, which makes absolutely perfect sense. They also have neon, which makes them at least twice as cool. The game features a story mode and a survival mode, which is pretty self-explanatory. I myself really like the synthwave soundtrack because I'm just really into that sort of thing. And yeah, the game is coming out on PC VR on the 3rd of February 2020. Next up is a game I'm very interested in. This game is called Coloniam, which is a VR city builder / colony management game, where, as the title suggests, or the genre suggests, you have to grow and control a colony and defend it against enemies, which I think is very interesting because I really like this genre of game and I think it lends itself really well to the VR platform, because most of the VR games are standing up and moving and active and stuff, and this can still give you a really fun VR experience while sitting down on your big boss drone and controlling this small population, which I think can be a nice change of pace and a lot of fun to do. I also think it looks really cute because everything looks tiny, which I just really like for some reason. The game has been receiving some very positive reviews already, and it's actually been at the top of the Steam recommended popular right now VR page for a bit. So yeah, the game is out right now in early access on PC VR, so keep in mind that it might still be a little bit on the limited side, but I think it has a ton of potential. And the last game for this month is a bit of a weird one, but I wanted it in here because I think it's a lot of fun. We have all collectively as a VR community, and especially the people that own an Oculus Quest, been begging for Minecraft to come to the Oculus Quest. So far, nothing has happened, and some people have even said it's never going to happen because it would be too complex, which I think is nonsense, but that's besides the point. You can download Voxelworks, which is basically a Minecraft-like, fully 6 degrees of freedom VR experience, which works very well. It's pretty simple as of now, and it's only out on SideQuest, but it keeps getting updates, and it also has a very interesting fitness mode where you actually have to punch like trees and stuff and actually have to run in place to get somewhere, which I think is a great way to burn some kilos. But yeah, it's completely free right now on SideQuest, which you should have by now. So if you haven't already, be sure to check it out because I really enjoyed it so far, and I can't wait to see where this game goes. And that was it for this month. I hope you enjoyed this video, maybe found some new games, maybe I missed some games. Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe for more VR content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.